Great day. Y'all get in here. Empowerment Zone. Get in here. Make sure we go live on all our platforms. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Welcome. Week 50. Let's go. Introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin. It's Dr. Joe Griffin. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intention is teaching their talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts. Come on in, get in here. 50 to 80% they ain't all that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his tip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin, yeah. He says recognize trauma, push past the pain. If you got a problem, go look at his frame. Push past the pain, y'all. Perspective and look at it change. Find a goal, set it in critical thing. Manage time, self-awareness. These are the few of the things he's trying to get you to do every day. Comment, do every day. Subscribe, share it out. We going in today is week 50. Collaboration. Things he give to you will have you take you drive to the next level. But first, you need to get some fuel at gas station. Supporting education leaders, creating a culture for kids that'll last for ages. Lack of access to quality professional development, that's outrageous. Got his doctorate in education, leadership, research, make changes. Need to put the kids first and raise them. Need to teach them they worth, stop playing. Later on, they gon' run this nation. Dr. Joe with his dissertation taught to those who would fix, make changes. I introduce you to Dr. Joe Griffin, a speaker, consultant, and author's intentions. The teaching and talk is to broaden their vision, the things they weren't taught when they brought up as children. Reach for the top, regardless of situations, predicaments, or your conditions. He's making history all of the districts, increasing retention from teachers. 50 to 80% they know that you hear me. He is the mentor. He paved the way with his dip methodology, really. Dream, be persistent, face fears, seek change, go out and go get it. This what you learning with Dr. Joe Griffin. With Dr. Joe Griffin. Yeah, welcome. It's week 50 of the Empowerment Zone, where we talk professional development, educational dynamic, educational trends, and we provide solutions to help you with school improvement. Let's go. I'm so excited, you all. I'm so excited. I can't make this up. We have made it to week 50. Definitely, as you start coming in, definitely sign in. Let us know where you're streaming in from. We definitely want to collaborate with you. We want you to be participants in a wonderful discussion on today. As always, we provide solutions to help you with school improvement. And that's so important, you all, because this journey of education, this journey of leadership, this journey of teaching, this journey of empowering others, it can't stop. And we got to constantly refill and rebuild and re-energize so that we can be who we need to be and do what we need to do in our educational spaces as well as in our private spaces. So let's go, y'all. I'm so excited. Big 50. Definitely, if you haven't been signing in, sign in today just for it's a happy birthday. It's a milestone. We at 50 episodes. And as we get ready to go in today with that, I just want to first off thank all of the numerous guests that I've had over those 50 shows. I'm sure I didn't count again today, but I'm sure they're probably close to 20, 25 guests because I like to mix it up, not only with myself and my solo presentations, but I also like to feature other empowered leaders, other leaders who are on the journey, who are on the path, who are making a difference and providing solutions for their school families and their school communities, because we learn, we grow together. We got to constantly remember that. We learn, we grow together. Also, with that being said, it's 50 weeks, and I just want to constantly reiterate that to do something that you love, to empower others, continuing over and over, it's got to come from your heart. You got to do it with the spirit of empowering others, providing information that you've been blessed to obtain, because you could have not obtained that information, but to hold it in and never to share, never to empower those other people or other people who need the information, who you can also provide the information, then they might give you some information back where then you can help yourself in addition to that. Man, that's so powerful, you all. I can't make this up. We're in a trying time right now. As we know, there are government rollbacks every single day. and many of it is impacting education. And one of the things that I saw yesterday was I think it was a lot of the HBCU grants have been kind of dismantled, so to speak, coming up for this upcoming year. And we can't allow it to get us down. We got to continue to push, because if we get down, we've already lost the war. So we got to stay focused. We got to think about alternative pathways, alternative ways to reach those goals that we have set. Remember, just last week, we talked about systems help you reach those goals. It's not the goals that help you create systems. So we got to continue to refurbish our systems so that we can continue to improve. There were, as always, there were violent acts this past week, one of which I'm sure the nation is very much aware. One of our political figures was assassinated. And regardless of what anyone believes, they say, their thoughts, murder is never the answer. Murder is never the answer. So regardless of this battle for equity, this battle for equality, us attempting to have fairness and justice, murder, assassination, killing, death, that's never the right way to go. So we want to continue to pray over the souls of ourselves and of our people. Been blessed to continue this journey as global consultant. Just locked down a deal. We're going to help turn around a school with 20 plus days. We're going to do it and do some ELA, math, as well as science. So I want to constantly let you all know that we're in this to help, and we provide solutions. I will stack my data up against anybody in America. The collective data of helping schools, multiple schools, transition, transform, and move into those next areas of school improvement, I put it up against anybody in America. You know, I just believe in it wholeheartedly, and I know that I've been blessed to be in this position to help schools for a reason. And I want to be able to be who I need to be. And that's what it's all about. It's not about the paycheck, because we don't get many. We don't get much from doing what we do as educators. We don't get paychecks from coming out here 50 weeks in a row to try to help educators be empowered. That's not why. It's never been about that. It will never, ever, ever be about that. It's about being resilient, staying in the battle. And with that, I want to definitely, as always, lead you in with a prelude. Last week, we talked about the development of the vision resides within you, right? The development of the vision resides in you, each of us, individually and collectively. Now, we want to take that a step further, though, because, you know, vision, we talking long term, we talking about what we want to happen, what we want to occur. Whereas when you start talking mission work, when you start talking about that day-to-day progression, those day-to-day actions toward the goal, how we come back time and time again, remaining resilient in the craft, thinking about different ways or different alternatives to accomplish goals. We've got to understand the mission, it can't even begin without action. You say, Brother Joe, what do you mean by the mission can't begin without action? Before it's unpopular, even if it's unpopular, before it's understood, the mission has to begin with action. Before people are willing to catch it, are you willing to spearhead it? Ooh, I'm gonna let that sink in. Before the mission happens, are you willing to spearhead it as a leader, as a teacher, as an educator, as a person, man, woman? Are you prepared to spearhead it? Are you prepared to have the challenges that go along with spearheading the mission, leading the mission, helping drive the mission forward to the right direction so that it can come into fruition? Yo, it's power in that. And the thing about it, you don't stop until that comes into reality. you got to first know that there's a cost of courage. There's a cost of spearheading a mission. When you step into your leadership roles, and all educators are leaders and all students are capable, know that there's a cost that comes with that courageousness. You might lose some friends. You might lose some colleagues. You might lose some supporters even. But when you're standing in your vision and you're working in your mission, whoo, there's power in that. There's power in that. There's courage in that. Because you already know from the door what you had to do in order to carry that vision on the walk. Are you prepared to carry it to other people catch it? Or are you so influenced or so affected by the critics, the naysayers, the doubters, those people who do not believe in your mission that you're going to bag up out of it? Right? So the mission, it can't start without action. There's a cost of it, and you have to pay it with courage. And the thing about it, you got to constantly be self-developing. This is non-negotiable. If I'm going to be empowered in my vision and I'm looking to empower others, I can't be stagnant. I can't just sit there and think that it's going to happen because I'm me. No, I've got to work in that vision. I've got to develop that vision, and then I've got to act on the mission. And I ask you before I get ready to bring out my guest, are you prepared to spearhead the mission until it becomes a movement? Let's go. Let's go. Are you prepared to spearhead the mission until it becomes a movement, you all? And with that, I want to prepare to bring out my guest. I have a wonderful, wonderful guest. Let me make sure I find a bio before I even got it. And I want to bring up Dr. Carol Jackson. Hello, 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 Dr. Jackson.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you, Dr. Joe Griffin?
I am well. I'm well. I thank you for joining the live stream today. It's week 50, and it's definitely a pleasure to have you on the platform. I want to read your bio properly, and then I want us to get into some deep, enriching conversation so that we can continue to empower leaders, and that's teachers, educators all over the nation. And as we had our conversation before, it's all about impacting. Even if it's just one, that means the most. So that is empowering in itself. Here we go, you all. Dr. Carol Jackson is a dedicated educator and transformational leader with over 2 decades of experience in education, including 12 years in the classroom, 10 years in administration. As the first in her family to attend college, Dr. Carol Jackson holds a Bachelor of Science from Midwestern State University, a Master of Education from William Carey University, and both a specialist and a doctorate in educational leadership from the University of Southern Mississippi. We are alumni, a national board certified educator, and as a principal has led schools through challenging times, including serving as principal of 2 campuses during the COVID-19 pandemic. She's an advocate for underserved students and is committed to fostering a positive and inclusive learning environment. Outside of school, Dr. Jackson enjoys spending time with her family and friends, shopping, traveling, giving back to the community through her beloved sorority, Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Dr. Jackson is committed to being a change agent, passionately working to shift the narrative for students in low socioeconomic schools and ensure equity, access, and excellence in education. I welcome you to the stage, Dr. Jackson. Pleasure to have you.
It's been a pleasure to be on here, Dr. Griffin, and congratulations on your milestone of 50 weeks. I'm super excited for you. Congratulations.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. It came quick. It came quick. I did like 42 doing volume 1. Took off by 6 or 8 weeks, 6 weeks, because I had my parents and my children across the summer. for an extended time, and now we back at it, 8 in a row, week 50, and I'm blessed to have you here. So thank you for joining.
Of course.
Yes. Now, in your bio, you spoke about leading 2 campuses, and that's powerful in itself. It's hard enough to lead 1 campus, and I know that because I kind of started learning my viewers a little bit. They want to know, how in the world were you able to pull that off during such a stressful time for not only for the nation and of course that school community, but how were you able to do that?
So I was fortunate enough to have 2 APs at both campuses. And so I spent 2.5 days at each campus, and I met with my APs every single morning to make sure both campuses were operating on the same level, making sure that if we have a reward system at this campus this Friday, I want one happen at this campus this Friday. If this is what's happening this morning at this campus, I want the same thing happening at the other campuses as well. But it was instrumental in making sure that I met with my APs every single day. All 4 of us met with the 4 of them, and then me. We met every single day, every morning before we had a quick leadership meeting, and I went over my expectations, and I trusted my people to execute it. And if you don't have trust in your people, you can't be a leader. So you got to empower them enough for them to be able to lead in your absence. And that was my goal, was empowering them in order for them to be able to lead even in my absence, because there, of course, as a leader, you're always going to be out. There's things you have to attend to. That sometimes you have to trust your people to take over while you're gone. And so my goal was to empower them enough and give them enough information and trust that they had the autonomy to even execute it and make decisions on my behalf while I was absent.
I love it. You just mentioned a word that I know leaders need to hear, and they need to emphasize it within what they do and what we do. And that word that you said was empowering those leaders. I know that trust, like you just mentioned, is key. What are some ways that you make an environment trustworthy? How do you make it where they are able to follow you, knowing that my leader may not be here on this campus, but I know that I still want everything to go as it should be?
So one thing that I do is, like, even for now, and even my other campuses, we have committees. The committees are responsible. They tell me what to do. I told them, don't just tell me where I need to be and what's my role. You bring information to me. Give me a sticky note, send me an email. I allow them to run the committee. They tell me, Ms. Jackson, we have this. So for example, we have a PBIS committee. And basically our PBIS committee operates like the Ron Clark, like his house system. Everybody on the campus, including staff members and custodians and cafeteria workers, are part of a pod. Our mascot is a dolphin, so dolphins travel in pods. So we are a pod, and we have the pod of motivation, the pod of ambition, the pod of nobility, the pod of originality, and the pod of resilience. And everyone in the community, in the school community, is part of one. And so my committee, they're responsible for making sure that we have weekly celebrations, little small celebrations, celebrate those kids and staff members who met the expectation, most definitely for the children. And then at the end of each 9 weeks, we have a big celebration. So the celebrations are mixed with staff members and students. We've done field trips, we've done water slides, we've done dance parties, we've had cocoa and cookies, you name it. But it's their job to run it. They just tell me. The other day we had new babies come in, and we did a pod sorting ceremony. Everyone came into the gym, we spun the wheel, and they got their new pods, and the people who were already in the pods, they were able to cheer for their new incoming members. And she told me, Miss Jackson, I need you to be here at this time frame. And I asked, what am I doing? She said, you doing this? And I said, okay, say less. And so I empower my people to lead, and my staff members up in front, and my front office staff, they pretty much know. Great gatekeepers. You have to have great gatekeepers in the front office staff. If you're an educational leader, you have to have gatekeepers. You also have to empower them enough to make decisions on your behalf, as well as know when to disturb you and when not to disturb you. My senior admin, my secretary, she is phenomenal. She is one who know we're not gonna bother Miss Jackson with that. Let me take care of that. So I empower them. They know my role. They know my expectation. They know that I am able to. I have to be an instructional leader first. That's my first and foremost. So if it's not about safety or instruction, then it's not going to happen. It's going to get passed down to someone else. But it's about letting them, giving them the authority to make decisions, but also my staff and I've been together 4 years. So they know what decisions I'm going to make. They already know me and I know them. I've had to train them enough to say, okay, well, what about this? And so it's having those small conversations, getting to know them personally and professionally, and letting them know when we have these small conversations, I'm giving them little nuggets. I'm giving them little nuggets of advice for them to carry on to the next mission, whatever the next mission, the next event will be. They'll know how to handle it in the future.
Definitely. I heard you mention quite a few activities that you do, and you mentioned the Ron Clark Academy, and some of those I think I recognize from positive behavior incentive supports. Is that a system that you implement, and how has it impacted those instructional as well as safety pieces that you just mentioned?
Great question. So yes, it is very it's been instrumental. I'm a PBIS girl, I'm a PBIS guru. I love PBIS. We do have school-wide systems in our on our campus, and the committee, they came up with the name because again, we're dolphins. So ours is fins, fantastic behavior, incredible attitude, nice choices, and show respect. So when you walk throughout our campus, you'll see those fins posted throughout the campus, out on the different playground areas, the restroom areas, the cafeteria. So there are expectations in the hallway, classroom. There's school-wide expectations, and then you'll also see the big posters that has all of the expectations throughout the hallway. And so making sure that the teachers, they came up with lesson plans to teach the kids how to do this, how to walk down the hallway, how to behave in the cafeteria, how to behave in the restroom. They came up with that. Again, goes back to empowering others. And so I'm a big believer in PBIS and making sure that we keep that at the forefront. We do have little tickets that we give out every week and every day. Everyone, all staff members have these tickets. They're blue or purple. They're either worth 1 point or 5 points. Every classroom has buckets with each pod represented. And every time a child gets a ticket, they're able to put their ticket in their bucket. And the committee, again, not Miss Jackson, the committee, they calculate those tickets, and whichever pod has the most at the end of the 9 weeks has a big celebration. And so what we've noticed is right now, I can say last year our behavior went down 80%. And
Okay.
so we've been in school right now for 30 days already, and I've only had one office referral. And so, yes,
Amazing.
I'm a big believer in making sure not only the PBIS system, Dr. Griffin, but also when our teachers start school, they have to create a classroom culture plan. And what
Okay.
that means is they have to identify rewards and consequences in their classroom. It's due to me. I review it. And when we have an issue with the student, I refer back to their classroom culture plan. Well, where in your classroom culture plan have you identified this? But here's the thing. Also, I equip my staff members with the pre-referral intervention manual. It is a big red book that has several behavior strategies as well as academic strategies. Let's say if you have a child who likes to run around the room, you can open up this pre-referral intervention manual book and you can identify won't sit in a seat or whatever. And they come up with 50 different strategies as an educator can do. And so all my staff members have access to that book. And I ask them to refer back to that book, especially when it comes to classroom management things. And that has also decreased our student referrals because teachers refer to that book before they bring the child to the office. Now, of course, if it's hitting and fighting and something violent, physical, then of course they have to follow that. But we do have a behavior matrix that shows what things should be handled in the classroom and what things should be sent to the office for. Again, everyone has access to that. Again, it's empowering them to make those decisions and make sure that they are being restorative. At the end of the day, we want to restore our babies. We don't want to just punish them for every single thing. We want to make sure that we are restoring them and making sure that we are giving them an opportunity to change, because they're kids at the end of the day.
I love it. I love it. And that goes into a lot of what we do here at Joe Griffin Global with our discipline culture piece, discipline dash culture. It's not what a lot of people think it is. A lot of people think it's just about discipline and it's all penal. But discipline culture, that's the collaborative way in which teachers and administrators work together to handle the issues. And we're not only talking about discipline issues, but we're talking about issues with adults, as well as issues with the external and outside community, because all of that impacts and has a part in what we're able to do as educators in our schools as far as instructionally and definitely as culturally. So I really applaud your emphasis on that and the way that you all are going about ensuring that students have that opportunity to teach themselves and to own their behavior. That's what it ultimately comes down to, because what's the use of me just being disciplined and getting in trouble all the time, but I still don't know how to make the situation better.
Right.
Kind of like we used to go to the office, take our licks because we still paddling. Of course, I know if we paddle now, we'd be in trouble. But we used to go to the office and take a paddling, but you come right back because no one ever talked to you about what you actually did. So it didn't mean anything, and you become kind of immune to the discipline because there's
Right.
no love involved in it. So again, that's powerful that you're able to do that. And equity, I know that's one of our focuses as well. Equity driven instruction. And to me, what equity is giving each individual what they need. I've heard various definitions, meeting students where they are, fairness, justice, equality plays a role in equity, although they are different as well. But equity to me is giving each individual what they need. And with you being a equity driven instructional leader, how does that look, and what's your meaning for equity, or how does it impact what you do?
So you're right. It's making sure that students have what they need to be successful. One thing I do want to mention is that I do have a high population of Hispanic students. 87% of our population is Hispanic. And so I want to make sure that when I'm even looking at programming, so it doesn't start with the teachers, it also starts with me. When I'm looking at programming, I have to make sure that there's a Spanish component to it. I'm trying to set my students up for success, not for failure. But also making sure that kids and teachers have access to hands-on manipulatives. Every classroom should have hands-on manipulatives, because we know our kids learn through play. Our kids learn, I mean, they sit in front of an iPad all day. And so making sure that they have access to the things that they need in order to be successful in math and science. Each classroom has a science kit. Yes, science is more focused for the upper grades where they participate in the labs, but I also make sure that the classrooms are stocked with science materials too, because science also sets a foundation. Making sure that we also give them the opportunity to explore other teachers, right? And so at my campus, we also have, of course, we are a fine arts campus, so all of our students get access to music, to art, to dance, and theater. But not even that, Joe. What we do is we also, my team, again, I empowered them. My specials team came to me this school year and said, Miss Jackson, we want to change the way we do specials. I said, okay, let me hear what you want to do. And they decided that they wanted to mix the classrooms. They wanted to mix the monolingual and the bilingual students during specials. And that way it allows our bilingual students to have an opportunity to engage more with our monolingual students, because the ultimate goal, we want those students to be biliterate. I mean, be able to speak English and understand it and read it. And my special teacher came up with the idea, not me. They brought it to me. I was like, okay, go ahead, let's go for it. So we decided to do that, and they are responsible. So every time a new child enrolls, they will go. The register contacts the lead, the specials teacher. She identifies, okay, so and so has enrolled today, and that lead specials teacher assigns that student to a new group. Every single day this happens. Again, this is going back to empowering your people. They came up with the idea, and I was like, I love an idea. I completely agree with all that you've done, but also making sure that we have a all hands on deck approach at my campus. So my specialist teachers, they have one day off a week, but guess what? They're not sitting in their room pulling their thumbs. Guess what I have them doing? I have them pushing into classrooms. They're
Mm.
pushing into the upper grade classroom to provide resources and to provide support. We train them on the curriculum materials. We set aside a day or two and give them some training. Okay, this is what you're going to be doing for RLA. This is what you're going to be doing for math. And when they walk into the classrooms, they're pulling groups. They're in classrooms 4 to 6 hours out of that day. They're in classrooms on that one day that they have off. And they also help with lunch duty. They build relationships with students. All hands on deck. I'm pulling kids. My IC pulls kids. My AP pulls kids. At the end of the day, we have to make sure that we are looking at the data and determining what our babies need in order to sit down and give them what we have to help them be successful. It is an all hands on deck approach at my campus. My staff, they lead PD sessions too, not just me. They lead it. If they feel like they're good at something, we send out a little questionnaire, and we ask them, what are you good at and what are you weak at? And those who are strong at something, they help to lead the PL for those who are weak. Again, it's empowering your staff. It's about giving not only the students what they need, but also giving the parents and the teachers what they need too. With parents, when I'm having a meeting with them, if we're having a Title I parent meeting, guess what? I got to have a translator available. So I'm speaking, my AP speaking. I'm speaking, then my AP is speaking. Even when I'm in the hallway speaking with parents, I always make sure there's someone beside me that can help me translate. So equity is giving everybody what they need, staff, students, and parents as well. My teachers, they say, I have something that called near dear to my heart, Mr. Griffin, cookies and conversation. It's me sitting down with my teachers one on one, every my staff members, not just teachers, for 20 minutes. I get to know them personally and they get to know me personally because they have to see that I'm a person too. At the end of the day, I'm Dr. Jackson, but I'm also Carol.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on in Carol's life outside of the school. So we spend that time, and the staff members love that. I'm giving them the opportunity to get to know me. I'm giving them the opportunity for me to get to know them. And we're speaking, and then I sit back, Dr. Griffin, and then I can send them an email or talk to them in the hallways, say, oh, well, how's your son doing? I remember last time you and I spoke, he was going through
Mm-hmm.
this. And,
Mm-hmm.
how's your wife doing? I remember last time she was going through this and this happened. Okay, well, I remember you said your child likes mangoes. Did you go to the HEB this week and get the baby some mangoes? Those types of things are important. Getting to know you, giving everyone what they need, and making sure it's personal.
Definitely, definitely. And I heard you mention, thank you, Dr. Moomin. Definitely appreciate you. Appreciate you always. Empowering learners is the key to their academic progress. Definitely. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. Thank you, Dr. Moomin, for your comment. I heard you mention the instructional piece there, and I've had a chance to be um, diverse in some of my curriculum pursuits. Being coming from the South, of course, but also having worked on the West Coast. And I know that you're in Texas and you have an 87% Latino population as well. And one of the curriculums that I was introduced to and had begun to master was the EL curriculum. Are you guys using that, or what type of curriculum are you all using as far as the different strategies? Because the EL curriculum is like laced with so many different reading and literacy strategies that really we should be using anyway. And a lot of times we are using them anyway, but they have it broken down in a condensed format. What type of curriculum work are you all using?
So right now, so first of all, let me start by saying that Texas has ELPS, English Language Proficiency Standards, that we have
Okay.
to also implement. So we have to make sure that those are always at the forefront. But the curriculum that we're using right now for math, we're using iExcel, and that is an online platform. It is in English and in Spanish. And for our reading language arts curriculum, we're using Amira/iStation. Now, Amira is basically the students take their BOY screener, and they are assigned an avatar, like a tutor, a built-in tutor. And so the students have a microphone on, and this little tutor, if a student is struggling with the lesson, Avatar will reteach that lesson to the child so they can pass the lesson. And it's in English and in Spanish as well. So helping those babies get access to that was something that was very instrumental in making sure that our kids have the ability to be successful. And again, we're setting them up for success, not for failure. And I do have bilingual classrooms. We have a bilingual classroom, one or two in every grade level, and making sure that those students also in bilingual classrooms also have to learn English too. We have a dual language framework, and those babies have to be exposed to English instruction as well. So again, our district's goal is to make sure that our babies are biliterate at the end of their school career.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. That's good work, and it sounds like it's doing exactly what it needs to do. So that's what you want. And that's what you want to continue to do. So thank you for that information. I'm sure that someone could use just that tidbit right there to perhaps move the needle in their schools, because all these different resources that are available to us, we've got to find the ones that work, the ones that are moving the needle, that are improving student achievement. And here's the thing that teachers are able to use successfully. I think sometimes we forget about that with our curriculum pursuit. We forget that it's got to be a curriculum that the teachers are able to master as well. So thank you for that information. I know that advocacy, is also one of your big passions. You mentioned it in our previous communications, as far as advocacy being something that is extremely crucial, extremely important to you and what you do. Can you speak to the leader's role as advocate, or how that plays a role in what you do as the leader?
Yes, again, advocating, but also I'm advocating for the students, making sure that when I'm calling HR, I say, listen, I got 32 bilingual students in the classroom. How are y'all going to support? I need another teacher. So it's not only advocating for my staff, but advocating for the students and making sure, again, looking at those programs, making sure that our parents are invited, making sure that we have the opportunity to invest with other community organizations to help them. We advocate again because we do have 92% of our population is economically disadvantaged. Making sure we partner with organizations who can help us find, resources, and making sure that we invite them into our campus community. For example, the shrine in this the local shrine organization, they came and they donated 120 backpacks to our students filled with supplies, making sure that we have what we need to start the school year off with. But also just making sure that I'm advocating for the teachers by celebrating them too, recognizing teachers and staff members weekly, and making sure we do that monthly as well. We have parent engagement committee where they're responsible for finding creative ways to engage the parents. We have like reading nights, math nights, and we have showcases. I want to advocate, for my students and show what they can do. And so we have showcases where our students put on performances. They sing, they dance, they do theater. We have all of that, making sure that that's also along my lines of changing the narrative, right? And making sure that we change the narrative of some of these lower performing schools, because there is greatness in every school. It's up to us as leaders to find that and bring that out. Also, everything we do, we're posting on social media. If it's something great, even if it's the kids is working in the science lab, guess what we're doing? We're posting on social media because I want them to see that yes, we may be a high diverse campus, but at the end of the day, our babies are still learning. They like hands-on. They like to learn. They like to be engaged as well. So just advocating for them in that way. Social media, newspaper, our newsletter that goes out. Those students who were made student of the week, recognizing them, making sure that we are just at the forefront and being responsible to showcase what we can do. One thing that I want to mention that has also I've advocated for students in a way is I've implemented Throwback Thursdays. What's Throwback Thursdays? When I first told my staff, they was like, "Oh no, Dr. Jackson, oh Miss Jackson, I don't know. We don't like this." So basically, Throwback Thursdays is guess what? No device day, no devices. Get my babies out front of these devices and teach them, engage them. That's how. Because I noticed
throw it
that
back to where it used
vocabulary
to
was,
be.
yes, back to where it used to be.
I
Vocabulary was a
like it.
deficit at our camp. Yes, it's Throwback Thursday. It's matter of fact, it starts this Thursday. No, I give them 5 6 weeks, get in the routines, get all the diagnostics out the way, and guess what? Every Thursday, if I walk by a room and I see a student on iPad, I remind teacher, remember today's Throwback Thursday. They have to shut it down. It is a way to get back to making sure that the teachers are teaching the students and not the programs. People, teachers, educators, we teach students, not programs. And so
Yes.
last year was my first year doing it with this campus, and they was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But guess what? At the end of the year, they loved it. Several staff members implemented on other days because I want to make sure that they are engaging our students. Again, what I was saying, vocabulary was a deficit on our campus. So I had to lead a PL session where we talked about semantic mapping, making sure kids are learning through games and making sure that they give an opportunity for the students to get up and get moving. And so
Mm-hmm.
we did that. And I told the teacher, here's an easy Throwback Thursday activity for you to do right here. Easy, easy, easy. You've got to make sure that our babies are being engaged and not with the device. Because if they sit on the device all day, they're going to go home and sit in front of another device. How are we getting them? How are we building student discourse? How are we getting kids talking and engaging with each other? How? So Throwback Thursdays is a non-negotiable on my campus. It is a non-negotiable.
I like that, Dr. Jackson. Throwback Thursday, and it's a twist on what we often think about as far as social media type stuff with the Throwback Thursday day. But here we talking about going back to how it used to be. We are using instructional strategies. We want the student engagement to be at a high peak without the devices. So that's powerful in itself, and I like the concept. Providing resources to parents and teachers is essential to student success. Such a powerful approach to learn. Thank you, Dr. Jackson. Celebrating teachers is equally inspiring and embracing the mindset that every school holds greatness is truly a success mindset. Every school holds greatness and every school can improve. You know, I love it. I love it. I like Throwback Thursday, Dr. Clark. She said she liked it. That's good. That is awesome stuff. So with all of that, because I constantly talk about people being people over purpose, people over programs rather, and how is that? Because I'm gonna want to push that just a little bit further with the engagement piece. How is that impacting? Well, I know you're getting ready to start it. So how do you hope that will impact student engagement and moving forward?
So I do it every year. I just give them, so right now we only been in school for about 5 weeks now. So every year I give them time to get all of the BOY screeners out. So that has to happen on Thursdays. So we've done it. I've done it in my former campuses when I was in Mississippi as well. And it has impacted the students. Number one, the students, I've heard students say, today was the best day of my life. Today, this is the best school ever. I love Throwback Thursdays. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, let me tell you how I got started with that, Dr. Griffin. It was when I was in Mississippi as a principal, and I had a vision. It came to me. I had an idea because I have these 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning ideas all the time, and sometimes the staff like, "Oh, here go Dr. Jackson, her shenanigans again." But you know what? I told them, I said, "This is what I want to try. Let's try. Let's see how it works." And the staff, they were like, "Oh," they were kind of leery about it first. And this when I was in Mississippi, and they were at the end of the first week we did it. The teachers were giving me positive feedback, but one student said what made me get started with the one student said, Miss Jackson, why do we sit in front of an iPad all day? It was one day we were just down the hallway talking. I said, that is a problem, isn't it? He said, I don't like them iPads all day. This came out of a baby's mouth, right? And when a student said this, it got my wheels a turning. This baby's onto something. And so that's why I implemented Throwback Thursdays. And the teachers were not happy at first. They were like, this is not gonna work. How are we gonna be able to do this? And so guess what? After the first Throwback Thursday when I was in Mississippi, the teachers actually enjoyed it because it got them up and moving too as well. It made them think outside the box. I told them, some of those things that you see on TikTok, some of those game stuff you see on Facebook, this is your opportunity to play those, engage the students. So the students love Throwback Thursday. So I do it every single year at my campus. And I just give them time to get the BOY screeners out the way and make sure that we have that. Now, even even through the middle of the school year. Once we do our MOY and BOY, Throwback Thursday still stands. I don't go back and say, no, you got to get that screener done another day. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. What you're not going to do is do it on a Thursday. Throwback Thursday is Throwback Thursday, and I am adamant about that. I do not waver, because if you give them an inch, you know they'll take a mile. And so I'm not doing that. And the kids love it. When I see kids walking down the hallway say, Miss Jackson, today was the best day ever. We did we did this, we did that. That's what matters. That's what matters. And also it stretches the teachers. It makes them think outside the box. It makes them not become so complacent. You've got to be able to stretch them and make them improve on their instructional practice as well. So the kids love it. The staff loved it. Last year, one I told you, a staff member said, I'm going to do it on Tuesdays also. Have at it, honey, whatever you want to do. So again, empowering them to see that things can be different.
Yeah. Empowerment is contagious.
It is.
You know, it's contagious. When I feel like I have your support, when I know what our vision and our mission is, and I add that to your support, I feel like we can move mountains. I feel like we can tackle all of the things that we want to tackle and accomplish them. Gamifying challenging topics like math is such a powerful way to engage learners. Thank you for creating a truly transformative learning experience for your students. Powerful. And that kind of leads into what I was about to ask you as far as your leadership style. And I know you've talked a lot about, those implementations that have been working for you and that you love. But what would you say about your leadership style that helps you and that someone who's listening can also take and apply to how they lead their schools?
So again, I believe in being a transformative learner. I'm a transformative leader, but also empower my staff members. You've got to believe them. You have to build them up enough that they believe in themselves. Because when I took on one of my former campuses, their morale was low, and I had to tell them, I had to pour into them. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do this. We can do this together. What do you need from me? I have an open door policy. Literally an open door policy. And someone comes into my office, I stop what I'm doing and I'm listening to them. I'm hearing them out. I'm taking notes and I'm jumping on it because I want them to know that I'm going to take care of it. And I expect that same from them. If I come to them with a problem or I come to them and say, hey, so-and-so's parent called about this, I expect them to jump on it and give me the feedback. I believe, and you've got to empower your people. I can be out and I'm taking a week off in December to come to walk for my degree. But guess I'm not stressed about it because I have empowered my staff members enough to know how things operate. They know if they're going to be out to find a sub to cover for them for duty. They know that if one of their colleagues is going to be out, they're going to help get that work together if it's not already together. They know that the team leaders are expected to make sure that their team has at least 3 days worth of emergency sub plans ready to go. They're responsible, not me. They report back to me. The committees meet the last Monday of every month. Then the committee chairs meet with me the first Monday of every month. So that's Mondays back to back. They meet with the committees. Then they tell me, okay, Ms. Jackson, we have this, we want to do this. Okay, what do you need from me? That's it. What do you need from me? How can I help? Again, I empower them. I am not the one in charge. We are doing this as a campus. At the end of the day, this campus can run itself, whether I'm there or not, because again, we've had 4 years together. And this is the highest retention rate that from what I gather in my district right now. 99, I lost one person 2 weeks before school started, but it was a PE teacher, right? And so that I was able to find that person, but that person, got out of got out of education. I have 99% retention rate. Where is that heard of, Dr. Griffin? Where have you heard that 99%?
That's powerful. That's powerful.
4 years because we do this together. I'm in the trenches with them. Again, when I say we're pulling students, I'm pulling students too. I'm working with them. We're talking about that. We're deciding together. I'm not doing it on my own. It's about me empowering them to be able to lead and also for them to believe in themselves. If they don't believe in themselves, how can they expect anyone else to believe in them? How can the students believe in them?
That's right.
I love my staff. We are dynamic together, but I know that in my absence, I'm not stressed. They're gonna handle things, and I come in the next day. What did I miss? Oh, you missed this, 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 and this. How was it solved? They tell me, and I'm good to go. That's it.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Wow, powerful information, and definitely jewels and gems that I know leaders, educators can hear. I share your leadership style of keeping an open door. Like you, I used to drop everything to support my teachers and students just to make sure they felt heard and valued. That goes so far in what we do. Yes, it does. I have implemented a new segment to the show. It's called the Big 11, Dr. Jackson, and that's we're getting ready to go into the Big 11. I pay homage to my collegiate basketball career with the 11 questions. I was jersey number 11, and so we came up with 11 questions that we asked guests to answer either in one sentence or one phrase, and we kind of go through it, and then we come toward the closing of our episode or what have you. So we're gonna go through the Big 11 if that's okay with you.
That's okay. I'm ready. Shoot.
All right. What motivates you?
The students. The students motivate me. I believe in making sure that I get to know them, and I want them to feel the. I love their smiles. I literally love to see them grow. I love to build relationships with them. Students have written me notes.
All
What's
right.
going on?
Listen,
Let's talk about it.
this time with two more whys now. Why?
Okay. Why?
Yeah.
Because I can encourage them and they can encourage me. The students, I feel if I get to know them on a personal level, do anything for me. They would do anything in this world for me. Again, it goes also back to our pod system. I had the little boy today. I said, listen, you're on my team. I don't like losing. So you're gonna be on my team. You're gonna help us get some points. What we're gonna do? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I said, So this behavior that you're displaying, let's get this going. So if I can, I actually have timers on my phone, Dr. Griffin, where I say I'm gonna come back and check on you at so and so time. I'll go back and check on this child. It's about building up relationships for them.
And the last why?
Why? Because I love what I do. I'm passionate about students. I'm passionate about growth. I'm passionate about education. I'm passionate about changing the narrative of low performing schools.
All right. What dream are you chasing?
Right now, Dr. Griffin, I don't know what I'm chasing. Right now, I just want to, I want to be able to find a way for me to make my outreach bigger. Right now, I'm on the campus. I'm stuck on a campus, and I want to be able to make my outreach bigger. So that is the dream that now what that looks like, I'm not sure, but I am looking at making my outreach bigger.
Okay. How are you initiating and investing in yourself?
So I just finished my doctorate. But also in Texas, we have to have a professional goal as well as a data goal. And so I have selected as my professional goal to participate in some upcoming workshops that I want to grow because I want to grow myself. My whole campus, we have to have a growth mindset. And that's what makes my job easy is when my whole campus has a growth mindset. We have what we call the Decker Way. It's about a list of 15 things that are non-negotiables on our campus that we've come up with as staff members, and they agreed on them. It's simple things like celebrating the cultures, making sure that we make the phone calls. What's the expectation of calling in? What's the expectation of having 3 days of emergency sub plans? I believe in having a growth mindset. So I also just want to make sure that I am growing. My staff grow. I'm continuing to read books. I'm continuing to participate in trainings just like I expect them to do.
Okay. All right. How do you push past pain?
Prayer.
Okay.
Prayer. You've got to stay prayed up.
All right. What demands you to persist with purpose?
Making a difference.
Your biggest concern for educators? Did I go out?
You did. You went out, but that's all right. My biggest concern. I don't know. You gone. There you go. There you go. My biggest concern for educators is, unfortunately, the time we're in now, there's so much politics that's impacting education. That's my concern.
What instructional practice lights your fire?
Go back Thursdays.
Okay.
Go back Thursdays lights my fire. I love it.
All right. How do you want teachers and students to feel?
I want them to feel worthy. I want them to feel like they can trust me, but they also that we can trust each other.
All right. What's your mantra, affirmation, or one or phrase for the year?
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck. Awesome, 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 awesome. Definitely. Thank you. Do you have any closing remarks, tips, advice, as well as maybe how people could reach you if they want to contact you, perhaps?
Yes, of course, I'm on LinkedIn, but also if anyone wants to contact me, I'm also on Facebook, but also I will leave my personal email address because I do believe in, again, making my outreach bigger. And I want to be able to reach others, not only other colleagues, but other educators, staff members, teachers. I want to make my outreach bigger. And so my email address is BLSD, like blessed, and the number 2 and teach@gmail.com. And even though I'm still I'm a principal, I still believe in teaching. I believe that one thing I want to say before we exit is that regardless of your role as an educational leader, you cannot forget what it's like to be a teacher. That is why I go back and I pull students and I work with students also. I don't want to forget what it's like to be a teacher. I don't want my staff members to see that or think that I'm so far removed that I forget what it's like to be a teacher. I have my bag of candy. I have my bag of materials that I'm looking at. I have my highlighters. I'm grabbing my babies. We're in my office. We're working together. Do not forget what it's like to be a teacher, whatever that looks like for you. But for me, it makes sure that I'm still working with the groups of students to make sure that I can help them set their goals, and then we're monitoring their goals, and then we are forging ahead. At the end of the day, I am a teacher before I'm a principal.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. You made me flash back when you just gave that last story there about being a teacher while you're still as the principal, because that was I feel like one of the things that really helped in all of my school improvement turnarounds as the principal. I also taught dual enrollment. I taught the English composition for each of those schools that I was at. And the teachers as well as the students got a chance to actually see me teaching. And I just feel like it always brought us closer because I was in those trenches with them. And just like you said, with teachers first. If we're going to be providing information on instructional practices and strategies that turn around schools, that produce the academic outcomes that we desire, we should be able to model those practices. We should be able to show them how to do it. And that's what it's all about as the leader. So I definitely thank you again for sharing today. I know that it's been a valuable experience for those who have watched our live or those who will watch it, because many of our people come back and watch the replay, and we love that as well, because again, it's just our job to empower. Can't keep all this on this side. All that's inside of you, you deserve a higher reach, or a more, what you say, a greater reach to be able to share that information with. So, and with that being said, I definitely want to end with the prelude. The mission, it can't begin without action. So here we are today. And with that, you all continue to lead learn and love with your heart. Continue to seek wisdom so that you can work and find your true purpose, and continue to be courageous so that you can drown out all fear and be who you need to be in all of your educational, personal, as well as professional spaces. See you all next week. The Empowerment Zone.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. I appreciate it. It was great.
Definitely. Hold on, Doc.